And today, it's all about not forgetting your core, right? So we're gonna strengthen the core today. We're gonna move through the low spine. Some of these flows are my favorite flows that I do in my yoga classes. So you're gonna get the best, my bread and butter, favorite low spine flow for your core to strengthen your hips and to overall help your hip flexors. Glad to have you here. We're gonna start in tabletop, as always. So find your tabletop, shoulders are under, or shoulders are over hands, hips are over knees. So we're feeling good here. All we're gonna do differently today is really just focus in the attention of the low spine. I want you to develop awareness of the low spine today while we strengthen our core, but overall while we move our spine. So you're strengthening your core, but we're gonna be moving our spine in all different directions, learning how to feel our low spine for the first time maybe. So from here, let's just start with some cat-cow, but we're gonna do vertebrae by vertebrae as we do it. So as you inhale, start to drop your belly button forward and down. You feel your stomach start to drop one vertebrae at a time, then your chest pulls forward, and then your chin will reach up. Beautiful, and slow exhale, curl in from the tailbone first, then your low back, mid back, and chin. Let's do one more. Inhale, slowly unwinding low vertebrae. You feel it one vertebrae at a time, doing a little wave all the way up to the top of the spine. Exhale, curl, starting from the low spine. Last one, you already feel it. I like to close my eyes too in these. It really helps you connect. Inhale, last, unravel. Beautiful. Go ahead and find a neutral spine. Now we're going to do side bends. So we've done side bends a couple times, but today, instead of cranking all in at once, I want you to do vertebrae by vertebrae. So starting with the low vertebrae, start to feel it crunching the right side, the low back, mid back, upper back, and then the neck. And then one at a time going the other way. You feel the left side cranking, flexion of the left side body. You feel those obliques activated one vertebrae at a time. Awesome, let's do one more curl each way. Again, these are really small movements. I'm closing my eyes here. Feeling it one vertebrae at a time. Super soft movements to warm up here, but super important. Beautiful, come to neutral spine. Now we're gonna take the belly button and we're gonna draw circles. So we've done spine circles here, but I want you to focus just on the low spine today. We've kind of done this once, but now we're just gonna do it one more time. Doing curls. So you can imagine taking the tailbone. I like to drop my belly button down as I inhale. Tailbone reaches up. Exhale, you curl it in. Tailbone reaches high. And we're just doing the low spine here. So find about 3 circles. And then switch directions. Just nice slow movement. Not focusing on the upper spine, only the low spine. It's like you're playing around with the tailbone here. I like to imagine I'm drawing big circles in the back of the room as if my tailbone was a paintbrush. Last circle. Beautiful, feeling that connection with the low spine. Awesome. Now we're just gonna walk the hands forward just a little bit here. And what we're gonna do is lean the hips back, and we're gonna do some spine waves. So we can find a little child pose almost. We're gonna curl in first, curl, curl, curl as you send the hips forward. And once we get to where the hips are right in front of the knees, we're gonna start to unravel, just like we did that wave. Unravel all the way to the up spine, and you start to send your hips back at the same time. So what this is gonna look like is little movement waves, like so. And you just find your rhythm. So I want you to find some waves. Again, you come out of your child pose, you're curling, and then you uncurl as you wave back. Come up, you're curling, you uncurl, and then do a wave as you come back. Let's do 2 more. Beautiful, just finding that wave. Last one. Beautiful. Let's curl in the toes, lift up the hips into our down dog. Take a second here. First down dog of the day maybe. So shake it out. Feeling into the hips, sway it left and right. Make sure the head's always relaxed, as always. And here we're gonna do some down dog waves. So same thing, but as I curl, so we're gonna inhale as we curl forward. Inhaling, you're curling, and once your shoulders get over your hands, I'm gonna bend the knees Send the tailbone up and start to unravel one vertebrae at a time, just like we do for anything else. And we send it back. So you inhale, you can just watch me for a couple. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. Let's try a few. Again, just feeling some fluidity. Really using your back muscles. So you feel yourself curling it first, using the front of the core. And when you wave back, you use the lower back muscles. Beautiful. Stop and down dog, pedal it out. So we're feeling connected. Let's gaze between the hands. Jumper step to the top of the mat. We're going to inhale, halfway lift up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's stand up all the way, reaching up to the ceiling or sky. And then exhale, forward, fold back down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, step or jump back into a plank or chaturanga, up to you. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, down dog. Wonderful. Inhale, roll forward into a plank pose. So what we're going to do is hold this for about 10 breaths. What I want you to do is make sure you're not untucking like this. I want you to tuck that tailbone in, engage the low core, and then lift the hips up slightly. Make sure you're not falling into the chest or shoulders. You're protracting through the scapula. We're here. We're solid. Tailbone's tucked. Lower core is engaged. Beautiful. We're breathing. About 3 more breaths. I want you to feel the low core. Almost feel as if you're pulling the hands to the feet constantly, engaging all parts of the core, especially the low core. Wonderful. Hips up and back to down dog. Find an inhale. And as you exhale, you can step forward and just sit down onto your butt. But if you'd like to, maybe hop through, maybe glide your feet. We're hopping the feet through the hands, and we come into boat pose. So we're up in boat pose, just 2 breaths. We're long here. My chest is lifted. I'm using my hip flexors. I'm not curling in here to use core yet, not yet. Our chest is lifted, and we're using mostly hip flexors. This is why boat pose is great, strengthening core and hip flexors. And we're going to lower down here onto the sacrum, and lower the back down. The low back's on the ground. Now we're in hollow body pose. You're using more core now. Just 2 breaths. Keep breathing. Last breath. Beautiful. Let the back drop down. Bring your feet close to you, hip width apart. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge pose. 3 breaths. Keep the tailbone tucked. Again, we've done this before. Don't let it fall open like so. Keep it curled in. Tucked in. 1 more breath. Feel your hips just reaching up to the ceiling, opening the hips. On your next exhale, slowly come on down, curl the knees into the chest. Hold it here, 1 breath. So we're squeezing in, it's all hip flexors and core here. I'm not helping, I'm not pulling in. Awesome, we're gonna roll forward. You can get back however you want. This, you can get creative, you can just stand up kinda. Or if you wanna try, use your blocks, put your hand on your blocks. Your hands on blocks to give yourself more space. Then you can float back if you want. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And then exhale to down dog. Up to you. We're going to do a couple more of those. So whichever one you prefer, that's up to you. Beautiful. Down dog. 1 more breath. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale the mouth. Inhale, roll forward into your plank. Just 5 breaths. Tuck the tailbone in. Feel good. But what we're going to do now is leaning left and right. Just to lean with the hips. Tailbone stays tucked the whole time, but we're getting the side body activated now. 2 more breaths. Steady breath. Low core is engaged. Awesome. Inhale, lift the hips back on up. Down dog, gazing forward as you exhale, jump or step or float forward in between the hands, and we're sitting down into our boat pose. Just 2 breaths. We're here, swaying left and right. See if you can balance on each butt cheek. Feel each hip bone get their balance. This is great for stabilizer muscles. Looks very simple, but as soon as you start doing it, you're like, oh shit, oh shoot. One more breath here. Awesome. Lowering down to hollow body pose again. And here, leaning left and right. You got 3 breaths. Keep that tailbone tucked. Keep the low back pressed against the ground as much as you can. Rocking here. One more breath. Beautiful. Hands come next to your sit bones, your feet. Inhale, lift the hips up in between the knees and shoulders. Keep the tailbone tucked here. We're breathing. From here, if you can, 1 foot at a time, make it light. Maybe pick it up just a little bit. And then the other. Just do that a few times. Making sure the pelvis, the hip bones stay level the whole time. One more each side. Awesome. Hips come down. Exhale, curl the knees into the shoulders. Try to get them to touch the shoulders. 1 breath. Big inhale. Beautiful. Everyone exhale, roll forward. However you want to make your way back. Maybe use your blocks. Kick back to chaturanga, exhaling. Inhale, up dog. Exhale into your down dog. 1 breath, pedal it up. Feeling good now. We only got 1 more round. And I'm gonna give you the fun pumps, which really activate the body and really get the muscles firing in all these positions. So, inhale, roll forward, plank pose. So from here, tailbone is tucked. We're doing small pulls. Pull with the low core, as if you're gonna make your way back into down dog. So it's like you're coming into down dog, but we're just doing small pulsations at the bottom. Pulling from the low core. 3, 2, 1. And send the hips up and back to down dog. Find an inhale. Gaze forward as you exhale. Make your way to your boat pose. Up to you how you make your way there. We're here. Awesome. And from here, pulsations. Knees come towards you. We're pulsating with the hip flexors. You're not using much core, mostly hip flexor. Can you feel the hips dive into the ground as you're pulling up with your hip flexors, your knees pull up. Not much core at all. It's really tough. Awesome. Lower down, hollow body pose. And we're gonna pump it here. Just slight pumps. Slight curls for 5, 4. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Feet come under you. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge pose. Awesome. From here, same thing. We're just gonna lower down, lift up though. Keep the tailbone tucked the whole time. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. 3 more at your own pace with your breath, making sure when you lower down, your low back touches the ground too. So you're keeping that tailbone tucked. Main thing from this program. So your pelvis awareness, and we're doing those daily, hourly posture checks. It gets much easier when you have a strong low core and you're able to manipulate your pelvic positioning at will. On your last one, hips come down, knees pull into the chest. Find a big breath here. Squeezing, using the core, using hip flexors. Awesome. And we roll on up and sit on up. Beautiful. That's a great core routine to target the hip flexors and just get overall more control in a low back.